Hi, today we're going to talk about new life. This all comes from A Scapegoat No More Forever. You can find it on Amazon.com. When we are talking about new life in terms of new life for a scapegoat, this is finally where we begin to turn a corner and we really start to leave the role of scapegoat behind us. So before we talked all about what goes into making a scapegoat, what is the purpose that a scapegoat serves within a system, like why do scapegoats even exist? And we also talked about some of the behaviors we can have and issues we can face as a result of having been scapegoated, right? So it's kind of like in my present, what is impeding my ability to have a healthy relationship and to truly move forward because of the fact that I was scapegoated. So today is all about turning that corner. It's all about new life and how to really start to let go and take steps towards this new life that we're trying to create. So today's all about creating a support system. If you're a scapegoat or if you've been scapegoated for a period of time or ever in your life, then you may realize, oh yeah, that is one thing that I don't have. I don't really have what most people refer to as a support system, or I don't have like a big support system or a support system of people I can rely on and really be vulnerable with, that I can really trust and count on them to come and help me. So in looking at that, why is that common amongst scapegoats? Part of the reason is because we face barriers when it comes to creating a support system for ourselves. There's a few reasons that can occur. Part of it is that we tend to be drawn to we'll just say the wrong type of person who's capable of really being a support to us. So it's someone who's going to just take from you, someone who is good to sort of like hang back, not really help. They're not really interested in what you're going through. So we tend to be drawn to those people, and we also tend to give those people most. So we're just kind of pouring out and pouring out and pouring out, and very little is pouring back into us. So for a lot of scapegoats, they see relationships as exhausting. So if relationships are exhausting to me, why am I really trying to sign up for more? Right? It's kind of like, I don't have anything left to give this person. I can't really do much more than I'm already doing now for all these other people. So we really don't understand the reciprocity part of it. We don't really understand the give and take part. We just see our role as what can we do to help? And then we help and help and help and help, but we're not really getting help back when we need it. And on some level, we know that and we understand that. So relationships tend to exhaust us. We tend to be drawn to the wrong type of people to be able to get a support from. And then also the next one is it's really hard for us to be vulnerable, right? So there's, again, a few reasons that can occur when we're struggling to be vulnerable. Part of that is because we learned that we get acceptance by being valuable, usually by being of help or of service, right? So if you start to learn that I am not always able to serve and I'm not always able to give to you, then you might leave me or find someone else, right? So I won't let myself be vulnerable. I won't really tell you where I'm struggling. I'm not really going to tell you what I'm going through, because then you're going to see me as weak or less than, and then I might not be good enough for you, and then you're going to bounce, right? So that's part of it, because I'm learning that I get value by never having a problem, and I get value by being able to help you with your problems. I don't really get value from being a real person to you. So if this is what I'm taught, then it's going to be really hard for me to be vulnerable. So what I'm going to do is sort of like hold up a mask or a wall, and I'm always going to keep pointing at that. This is who I am. This is who I am. This is who I am. Instead of getting to just be myself and to just be vulnerable, which really I can't get support if I won't be vulnerable, right? No one can really help me with the need or support me in a need that I may have if I never let them know that I'm having this need, right? So those are some barriers, and you'll know that you're not being vulnerable when you're sharing. So even if you're sharing and you're trying to be vulnerable, remember, if you're sharing with an agenda, you're not being vulnerable because you're trying to persuade them of something, usually that someone is bad so that they'll save you. Or it could be that you're trying to just show them how good you are or how innocent you are so that they won't leave you. So either way, if you're sharing with an agenda, you are not being vulnerable, right? If you're not just simply saying what you're going through. And it's so hard for scapegoats to do that. I get it. Okay, so what is the purpose of a support system? Why would this even be such a big deal for us to move forward? But really, it kind of makes all the difference. When you can cultivate a really good support system for your life, it makes all the difference in you not only getting out of your scapegoat role, but you staying out of your scapegoat role, right? Because there's like those two parts. You got to get out, but then you also have to stay out, because you can get out and go right back to it. And we don't want to do that, right? It's kind of like you fight too hard for your life. You don't want to slip back into that role. So the first one, the one purpose is that they would be a source for you that's very empathic and that is non-judgmental, that you can go to for advice, right? So if you're struggling and you really don't know what to do in a moment, or you feel like you're not really sure of your next steps, right? When you have a really good, healthy support system that can just empathize with you and they can just give you their advice, like this is what I've tried in the past, or I know this person tried this. What do you think about that, right? They're just a really good, safe sounding board for you. That makes all the difference when you're struggling. So that's a good thing to have in your life. Someone who is empathetic, non-judgmental, and they can still give you some advice. Doesn't mean you're going to take it, right? But it's just good to have someone to talk to, an ear that you can, be talking to when you're struggling. The next one is someone to share, your worries with, someone to share your victories with, someone to share your goals with. So when you have a good support system, it's someone who you're just pretty much sharing your life with. This is what I'm worried about. This is what I'm hoping for. Here's a goal I have set. Here's a great thing that happened to me. So it's kind of almost like having this reflective mirror so that you're seen. Because, in a few videos back, we said that when you're a scapegoat, someone who is dismissive of your needs over time makes you feel like you're invisible. You really feel like you don't reflect off anyone. You're just like this piece of blob that's just bouncing around and through the world, and nobody really sees you. You can really start to feel invisible when you've been dismissed so many times. So when you have a support system and you can verbally bounce an experience off, they take that experience and reflect back to you and validate it, right? That really starts to be like, oh yeah, I'm a person. I am a person. I do have worries. I do have goals. I do have things that I'm good at or that are going well for me, right? So important that you have someone in your life you can reflect all those things, your worries, your victories, your goals, and that they're just going to reflect it back and validate those things. Also, a support system will make time for you, right? That's a really big deal, because we're so good at making time for other people. We're so good at picking people who don't make time for us. So it's really important that we get better at picking the people who will make time for us. So if there's something we need, they're happy to help. If there is, something that we've achieved, they're happy to come and celebrate it with us or to hear about it, right? Or if there is just a time where you just need someone to talk to and they make time for you, they're there for you. Those are all people who would be support to you. And those are all areas that you need support in. We all need that support. So those are some purposes of a support system. So part of it is they give you that great advice, non-judgmental, and they're empathetic. They share your victories, your goals, your worries, and also they make time for you. That is the purpose of a support system, is that they're making time for you, they're seeing you, they're hearing you, they're giving you advice, letting you know you're not alone, they're checking in with you, they remember if you went through something hard, they follow up, right? All of those things are what a support system is supposed to do for us, and it makes all the difference. So remember, when we're trying to turn that corner and get out of this role of scapegoat, a support system is vital. And today we talked all about, this is what we need a support system for. This is the purpose of a support system. This is what it's supposed to be doing for me. So take good care, and I'll see you in the next one.